right, what's going on, everybody? Late night edition. We're insomniacs. It's 9 o'clock at night. Most people are getting ready to go to bed, not us. The New York Jets never end. So thank you guys for joining us right now. My name is Liam. I am your host, joined by my wonderful co-host, Dan. Dan, what's going on, man? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's, man. This is like when the entire nation is Jets fans, right? They're all Jets fans. They're all wearing green. Doesn't matter if you have an old Neil O'Donnell jersey. You throw it on, you just go out, you get drunk, have a blast, utter any words, and you know what? Jets are going to be Super Bowl champs, and that's okay today. That's okay. Everybody's going to agree.
We got Armand in the chat. What's up, Armand?
Oh, look at this guy.
Happy St. Patty's Day. He's on it. He is on it.
Isn't he?
Here we go.
Oh, he's the best. He's so good. So now we are live right now, and we want to talk about certain actions and movement that is going to happen this entire week, right? First one is Mike Williams tomorrow. Mike Williams is going to be visiting us. He has a boatload of teams that he's going to be kind of seeing, and we're the first one. And I think he will not leave 1J Drive until he signs off. 1-year deal. I think it's going to be a 1-year deal anywhere that he goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I would like to think that he's not going to be leaving without a contract. But historically, Joe Douglas has let plenty of guys walk out of the building without a contract. We saw it last year with Dalvin Cook. And we've seen it in the past with Odell. We've seen it. Oh, yeah, there we go. At first, I'm like, who the hell's hopping on right now?
No. Yeah,
Former Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams is scheduled to visit this week with the Jets, Panthers, Steelers per source. The Jets first with Williams arriving Monday night. Also, the Chargers have traded Keenan Allen, so they are interested in bringing back Williams. Okay, so with that being said, pretty much that means that there's a lot of teams, obviously, that want him. And now this comes down to a common theme with Joe Douglas. Is he willing to break the bank? I don't necessarily think he's going to have to break the bank, but are you willing to outbid other teams? If the jet tax comes into play, are you willing to pay the jet tax? Or is he somebody that you could allow to leave the building, say, go get other offers and come back to us? Or, hey, really, we sat down, we talked with you. We're not really on the same page. We're going to allow you to go elsewhere. There's a lot to digest. There's plenty to digest. Dan, what are you thinking?
I think he doesn't leave without a contract, because that last part there, what Schefter is saying, he's saying, and it's very telling, because if the Chargers didn't believe that the rehab was going well, because for all intents and purposes, he's not going to be ready until training camp. So all these OTAs, he's still rehabbing. Before he got injured, he had 200 yards. That was the first year that he had kind of like below average because he got injured. But the years before, he had 800 yards, 1,000, makes acrobatic catches. And keep in mind, he was the Chargers' #1 target. When he comes to the New York Jets, he is not going to be asked to be that. He's just going to be asked to just relieve Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Wide receiver #2. Enter Alan Lazard as a true #3. 3, 4, fine. Big-time targets that Aaron Rodgers is going to be having. And to me, if you let go of Mike Williams tomorrow, yes, he's going to weigh everything. But again, he's going to be going to the Panthers. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to sign there. Steelers, quite possibly, maybe. That is a possibility. Chargers, they are definitely in play, because to uproot your whole entire family and going elsewhere, I know it's so easy for us fans to be like, no worries. It's just more money. It's a little different when you have family involved. So if the Chargers are offering the same as the Steelers and the Panthers and the Jets, he's going to go back to Los Angeles. What I'm seeing and I'm thinking is that the Jets have to sweeten the deal, to answer your question, Liam. They have to sweeten it up with incentives. I don't think the Chargers or the Panthers or the Steelers are going to give the incentives that Joe Douglas is so keen on giving. Look at that whole Tyron Smith signing. There's a lot of incentives. If he checks off all the boxes, that's $20 million that he's banking.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's worth it for us, like you had said. I love him, Joe Douglas, because of his incentive deals. I think it's phenomenal. But like you said, I mean, moving your family from California to New York is no easy task, no matter who you are. Now, granted, I'm sure he has like movers. Like, it's probably not that hard as somebody like you or I.
Right.
But yeah, why move? Why have your kids change schools? Why have your family just move completely across the country for the same amount of money? It doesn't make any sense. So I agree with you. Yeah,
What would be the number? What
Panthers
would be the number?
probably out. I think
I
that we
think
will
so.
agree on that. I mean, Bryce Young, they're not really a contender because that's like the one thing that, well, there's really, in my opinion, 3 things that wide receivers are looking for. Obviously, money,
Right.
a really good quarterback to get them the ball, and they want stability. They want to know that whoever they're signing with is going to be here for the next couple of years. And, the coaching staff, same thing. And that could be like the one thing that is kind of scaring some free agents away is like Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas, they're on the hot seat. They could be playing for a whole new regime come next year. Not only that, Aaron Rodgers, we don't know how long he's playing. He's saying 2, 3, 4 more years, and then you have all the reports going on that he might not even play. He might retire. He might become vice president of America. So I think stability is really like the one big problem. Now, if you want somebody like a Tyron Smith, yeah, like a 1-year deal, let's go all in this year. That's great. He's at the later end of his career. He's in his mid-30s. Now, Mike Williams, he's a little injury prone. I'm seeing that here in the chat. But, he still has plenty of tread left on his tires. Like, he's going to be around for the next couple of years. I don't plan on him retiring anytime soon. So that could be like the one big thing. Now, the Steelers, you have Mike Tomlin. He's been there for ages now. You have a really good quarterback in Russell Wilson. You got Justin Fields. So at the quarterback position, they have options.
Right.
If something's not working out, they could go to the next guy, then the next guy, the next guy. Where the New York Jets, they don't really have that right now. So there's a lot of question marks for a wide receiver free agent to come to the Jets. But this is when Joe Douglas needs to earn his money, and this is when Joe Douglas needs to prove why New York is still an attractive destination, in my opinion.
100%, man, 100%. And, again, yes, he is injury prone. That's why I don't think we're going to be breaking the bank. To be honest, I think he's probably going to be in the range of 8 to 10, to be honest.
I like that.
With a propensity of getting to 13. If he's healthy, and this is all going to be on a 1-year deal. I don't think it's going to be 2 years because, again, he's coming off injury. I don't think any team is going to offer him 2 or 3 years. I think it's going to be 1 year. 1 year. And if, let's say, he knocks it out of the park, 1,200 yards, he plays all 17 games, then he worked his ass off for it. He's
earned it.
He's earned it. Now he goes into 2025. He's the hot commodity right now. So at that point, he elevated his game. What are the teams that can elevate him to getting that kind of contract? Because remember, he had that contract extension from the Los Angeles Chargers. Sorry,
right.
Old habits. Anyway, and this was, I think, his 3rd year, and they couldn't afford him, especially coming off that injury. You have the Steelers, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Do you think any of those 2 will give him the same production as what Aaron Rodgers or Justin Herbert would give him? Let's say if he's healthy the entire 17 games.
I don't think so. I think really what it comes down to is, now, granted, Aaron Rodgers missed pretty much the entirety of all last year. The year before that, his numbers went down. He played with a broken thumb. So, not to be like the negative fan, but like we're not sure if Aaron Rodgers is at, maybe he's getting older. He's starting to decline a little bit. I think still 75, 80% of Aaron Rodgers is still better than, definitely better than Justin Fields.
Right.
And still a lot better than Russell Wilson, who also seems to be on the decline of his career. So I do think that it's very enticing for a stud wide receiver to come here. It's just, I don't know, man. Like a 1-year deal, like I would want 2 years. I would want 1 year guarantee, like a 2-year contract, 1 year guarantee, loaded up with incentives. And I agree with the 8 to 10 mil, and a deal that could get to 13 mil. I like that. I think that's fair for a true number 2 wide receiver that's going to be taking a lot of the load off of Garrett Wilson.
Now, I want to throw something here into the chat and into this Jets world here where no one is talking about.
Okay.
What if What if a name surfaces from San Francisco and he's not Debo Samuel? It's Brandon Ayuk. Would
Yes.
anyone have a problem with giving up the 10th overall pick for Brandon Ayuk? Now you have a stud wide receiver opposite of Garrett Wilson. It would be a sign and trade. I mean, at that point, he produced at a very high level. And this is one of those where you could couple Wilson and Ayuk for the next maybe 4 or 5 years. Granted, you have to extend Garrett Wilson. But this year, this coming year, it could be massive. It could be something high because if you think about it, just like one of the individuals here, I believe it was James, that said, yes, Williams is injured prone. So now you're going into the season crossing your fingers that Mike Williams gets through training camp. As much as I want Mike Williams because of the potential that he has, crazy catches in his career, and he could take over a game. He's that good. He's such a very good player. But with that being said, if you can get a Brandon Ayuk, oh my goodness, it just changes the dynamic of your offense.
I love that. I just don't know if I love it for the 10th overall pick. Maybe like a pick swap, and then maybe you could throw in, I don't know, like picks down the line.
Right.
But that's just me being cheap. I mean, it's not and James says it here too. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, is what he's saying.
Right.
And it's not. Like I do like it. Would I be necessarily upset if they had given up the 10th overall pick for a stud wide receiver? No, because the draft is a crapshoot. How often, especially with quarterbacks, I know a different position, but this guy's generational. I was hearing for months and probably about a year that Trevor Lawrence was the next Andrew Luck, and he's a great quarterback, can't miss. And he's a solid quarterback. Like, would you take him? Sure, but is he a great quarterback? Not now. So I don't know if that was a really good comparison to use, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying here.
100%. I mean, well, to bring it back, you had your Deion Warwicks back in the day.
Yep.
Wide receivers that were high, Charles Johnson that were high, can't miss prospects, and they just don't produce. And you bring up a great point. Shoot, okay, stay at 10. Get yourself, one of these amazing wide receivers that are coming out. Neighbors, the wide receiver that's escaping my head from Washington, Odunze.
Mm-hmm.
Two wide receivers that I'm really high on. If the Jets land on these two, shoot, by all means, let's roll. But if you have a chance, it's a double-edged sword for me. Like, I would love to have Brandon Ayuk for the 10th pick. But then you're like, all right, you know what? Hold on a second. If we reel it back a little bit, if we can get Mike Williams, if he's healthy at 10, if all these offensive tackles are taken, and you get Brock Bowers, man, now you have a complete arsenal for like the next 2 to 3 years or even that much more. You have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Brock Bowers, Mike Williams. Yeah, Lazard here and there. I get it. But Lazard is not your 1A. He's not even your 2. He's a third, fourth wide receiver. He's being tremendously overpaid. And I'm going to play devil's advocate. I like what he promoted out there. He's working out. He knows he had a bum year. Like, he knows it. He knows that he was a different player in Green Bay. He came here. The drops were killing me. That's another thing. Like, we get Corey Davis. That was one of our big signings. What was it? 3 years ago. We were happy. We're like, all right, we have a speedster. We have something. He could turn into a 1. Another guy that drops the ball. Another guy. Not dependable. Lazard, another one. Now, Corey Davis doesn't want to be in his retirement stage. He wants to play for another team. Oh, that's great. The Jets should not be in play for that. The Jets should say, no, you know what? You were retired. You gave us a big surprise on an all-in year. No, it's a done deal. Good luck to you. Peace.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. See, and this is the conversation that I keep having about Brock Bowers. Love the talent. It's just, are we really going to carry 3? It's just like the tight end. Like tight end kills me in the first round. Now, yes, like there's like a lot of really, it's like if you could have like a Travis Kelce, or if you could have like Gronk in his prime, and then you have like Kyle Pitts, who he was obviously taking the first round. Right. It's just, I think Tyler Conklin is really solid. I like Tyler Conklin. I think every year he's, especially with the Jets, he seems to be getting better, and he's done a lot with nothing. And then you have Jeremy Ruckert. That I really feel that Jeremy Ruckert is he probably going to be tight end one. I don't know. I don't know, but he has a lot of untapped potential that Aaron Rodgers could unlock. And it just seems like, I don't know. In my opinion, it seems like we have bigger needs at the offensive line position, at the wide receiver position. I get it. Brock Bowers can do it all. And I agree with that. It's like the tight end position kills me. I wish he was like a wide receiver. Now, granted, you could use him like that. You sure can. And then he could also pick up blocks. Like he's a very, very solid player. Am I going to be complaining if they do draft him at 10? Absolutely not. Now, I said the same thing a couple years ago about Sauce at 4. I said, I love Sauce. I love the player. I love the prospect. But cornerback at 4, I'm like, do we really need a quarterback? I was kind of high on Bryce Hall at the time. And I was like, yeah, we have him. He seems to be getting better. And I was completely wrong. Now, hindsight 2020, I love Sauce. And I'm going to be saying the same thing about Brock Bauer if he is a Jet. It's just, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Now, I'm going to blow your mind here. I'm going to probably change your mind on the tight end at 10. But before I do, number one, first and foremost, the viewers right now. You guys are tuning in. Thank you so much. This is brand new to us, this whole entire kind of rebranding and whatnot. Thank you so much for coming on like here just to listen to us. Two guys, I'm in my basement, you're like in your attic, and wherever we're here just talking Jets. If you guys can, just hit that subscribe button. It just helps us out so much more. We want to take this to the next level, especially all the guests that we're going to be bringing in here, especially a big one that I had on a previous show, initials GV. Anyway, so let me put this thing out there. Let's say at 10, you had the opportunity to draft at the highest peak.
Okay.
Gronkowski or Kelsey or Tony Gonzalez. Would you draft any one of those three at 10?
Yeah. I definitely would.
But remember, you have just same scenario as you posed before. You have already a stacked tight end group. What just changed your mind there? Because again, we're talking about the tight end, but those three players bring a certain intangible to the table to this offense to make it a dynamic offense, because it's not just block, go for a route, and catch. This is all around. You could place them wide, like opposite of Garrett Wilson, or you could do doubles next to each other and have, let's say, Ruckert on the other side actually blocking alongside with Conklin.
Yeah, some 2 tight end sets, stuff like that. Yeah.
Because he is, to me, what Bowers is, when I see highlights in Georgia, when I would see the games, he's a matchup nightmare. You put him at the line of scrimmage. You could put him in the backfield. Dude, you could actually use him this is silly, but again, how many times as a Jet fan, when it's 3rd and 1, in your heart of hearts, we're not gonna get it. We're not going to get this 1 yard. Like we see Breece Hall or a beautiful throw and it's 9 yards. Now it's 2nd and 1. And we draw up a bomb. All right, incomplete. 3rd and 1 to continue this going on. And for a fact it's going to go up the gut and you stop. The reason why I bring this up is because of a guy like Brock Bowers. You could use him like a Travis Kelce. 3rd and 1. He comes in motion, goes behind the center, catches the snap, quarterback sneak. You don't have to have Aaron Rodgers, who's frail, right? I mean, he's coming off of an Achilles injury, doing a quarterback sneak, because you don't know what happens down in that pile. Nasty stuff, man. I mean, I'm sure you played football in the past. I played organized ball, semi-pro. We are underneath there. Dude, they're grabbing, bro. You're grabbing. One guy grabbed me. That's why my eyes are like always popping out because of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you don't want your quarterback there. There's different scenarios, and you have a legitimate tight end that is, it seems like he's generational. It just seems like he's generational.
It does. And yeah, I mean, especially looking back at the history of like the Jet tight end position. I mean, in my childhood or middle age, kind of, I guess, you have Dustin Cowher, and then we had Jeff Cumberland, and then we had
Yes.
Chris Herndon. So
Right.
it's been a nasty road.
Yep.
Danny Brown, I think his name
Oh.
was Tyler Croft.
Oh God.
Who was the other one? There was like another one that was
Keller,
always
Dustin Keller.
Dustin Cowher back in the day. Yeah,
But I liked him.
I did too.
I thought he was good.
Too. It crushed my heart when he went down into Miami, but story for a different day. Yeah,
Right. No, but I get what you're saying with the tight end. Like we've had that in the past. We had, I don't know if you remember, in the 90s, in 92, we drafted a tight end named Johnny Mitchell. He became actually really good for us, but it was like, I think 6th or 7th overall, something like that. Then later on, I think was it 4 or 5 years later, we drafted Kyle Brady.
Yep.
Where we had Warren Sapp there. So that's why dude, I'm in the same boat with you when you say, don't like the tight end. I'm the same way. I hate it. This dude, complete different. It's opposite, polarizing. I'm like, no, I'm getting him. If he's there at 10,
oh, I understand it. Yeah, I understand it. And like I said, I'm not going to be mad if they do. Not at all. I'm going to be like really excited, actually, pretty much like anything but like a defensive end. I'd be.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, really anybody on defense. Like you can't go defense. I think we could all agree with that.
No,
But
you can't. Absolutely.
Ryan Griffin. That was the guy I was thinking. Of. Ryan Griffin.
He was good though. He was all right. But he's not a game changer.
He was really good in like 2019. I remember he had like that really good like stretch with Sam where I got the opening drive. He'd always like find his way into the end zone. So yes, that's who I was thinking of. And then Matthias with another throwback name, Mickey Schuler was our best. Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
That's my guy,
way before my time, but I know my Jet history.
Oh man, I love him. Johnny Mitchell was not good. He was good in 93. Remember that? Listen, big fella. Do you remember the 3-touchdown game that he had? I think it was against the Philadelphia Eagles with Boomer. Great game, dude. That was the game that we were going to just end that Philly Eagles streak that we were losing to them. Dude, we were up. We injured Randall Cunningham. Incoming Bubby Brister. Dude, he was a journeyman quarterback with the Steelers going there. We're going to win the game. At the end of the game, Boomer Esiason throws an interception to, I think his name was Eric Allen. Not the guy that does the
media guy. Yeah.
That would be fun. Anyway, it was an interception. That's all it was, Liam. That's all it was. Yep. This dude does a pirouette, runs around. He was like Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. He was just running up and down, all around, scores a touchdown, ends our hope. And then the following year, of course, we had the fake spike. Again, all these wonderful memories that we've been having.
Oh, yeah. Walk down one Jets drive is the way I like to look at it.
Oh, horrendous.
A road of misery. It's pretty much Skid Row in New Jersey.
Oh, my goodness. Now, let's shift gears.
Okay.
Again, I want to bring up this guy who's going to be coming in on Tuesday, I believe, Jadeveon Clowney, where a lot of they have a lot of mixed feelings on him. And to me, I'm very instinctive. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want him. I don't want it. Like right away, I was like, I don't want him. There's no way. I'm done. Then you start looking at the season that he had last year, and he was half a sack shy of what Bryce Huff had. You know what I mean? So you're not
at a linebacker position too.
Yeah, 9.5 sacks. Bryce Huff had 10. Granted, we all wanted Huff back. Shit, make no mistake. You groom a kid, a guy that you signed right after the draft, went undrafted, and you fueled his energy, and he became what he was. He left greener pastures, no pun intended, the Eagles.
Literally, yeah.
But now you could supplant him with a guy coming off 9.5 sacks. Going on to an elite defense. Yeah, I said it. An elite defense. The Jets have a top grade defense. The reason why a lot of times we get on them is because we're like, you know what? Why can't they be consistent for 60 minutes? You can't do that when your offense sucks. When your offense has no quarterback. When your offense has Remind me again who we had at quarterback, please. Just throw that in there. Just after Aaron Rodgers went down, who are our quarterbacks?
We had Zack Wilson, Trevor Siemian, Brett Rippon for a period of time. I'm missing somebody.
Yeah. Tell me. The guy that threw for more
Tim Boyle.
More interceptions than touchdown in his collegiate career. So there was no promise there.
No.
Nothing. He didn't even come from like a high echelon school like USC, Cal, like kind of like when Bill Belichick, he drafted Matt Castle. Castle didn't play that much at USC, but there was potential to the point where, like, you know what? If USC thought he was good, we're going to bring him in.
Yeah.
Again, it slips my mind where Boyles came from.
Wasn't he Connecticut?
Connecticut. Come on, man.
I think he transferred at one point too, either to Connecticut or like from Kentucky to Connecticut, I think it was, or vice versa. I never had that much. Yeah, from preschool to middle school, pretty much.
Oh my goodness, it's horrible. But again, with that being said, if you can get Clowney, to me, you're not missing a step. You're not missing a step.
All right, yeah, do you know his age offhand? I know he's been like in the league since 2014. I know a little bit about him.
I got it right.
Linebacker. What do you got?
Let me see. I'm Armand tonight.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We're
31.
getting there, James.
He's 31 years old. Now, I want I don't want this to scare you guys and say, he's 31. Hold on. When Parcells was here, even when Belichick started off over there with the Pats, you always needed veteran players at the edges. Just remember Anthony Pleasant, again, number 98 for the Jets in that run that we had in 98. Roman Pfeiffer, another guy that he played all of his entire career with the Rams, came here. You need that. It's okay. It's all right. We already have our nucleus, if you think about it. Kind of have our nucleus like how we had in the mid-2000s with Revis and Harris.
Yep.
Remember, like, we had such a great group where all we needed was you just needed your Chris Jenkins here, your Calvin Pace here. And we had
Sean Ellis.
Dude, absolutely. We figured out the chemistry, and we did it, and it landed us to 2 straight AFC Championship games, the glory days. Dude, where I still think in 2009, when we went into Indianapolis and Sanchez hit, what was his name? Braylon Edwards for that 80-yard bomb. I'm like, we're winning this game. We're winning it. We hit it. You know, and of course, unfortunately, we didn't have it didn't pan out. But then the following year, it was so prideful to be a Jet fan and to watch these games, how we're killing teams. And we're like, yo, man, this is what we've been waiting for. And we kind of have this. And you know what? We're going to segue into this, what James is saying. We were talking offline, and we were thinking, you know, there's a couple of guys that kind of screwed the value of Zack Wilson. And number one, the general manager of the Chicago Bears. But I'm not going to put a lot of blame on this guy, on him. He is who he is. He wanted to unload him. He said, this is the best I can do. It is what it is. But the main culprit, I'm going to leave that to you, Liam. Who was the main culprit?
It was our own owner, Woody Johnson, when he spoke publicly and said, we didn't have a backup quarterback last year. Oh, no.
Where did he say that? Where? Do you remember where he said? Like, it wasn't like in the street. It wasn't somewhere that it was discreet. It wasn't like at some MMA fight. No, he said it at an owners meeting where you actually make deals with other owners. And he would be the worst car salesman. He's like, buy this new car. It's amazing. The motor doesn't work.
But besides that, you know. It can't get you from A to B, but it will look damn good in your driveway. I'll assure you that.
Oh, my God. So that means we have to release him. We have to release Zack Wilson. We can't keep him on the team after what Woody Johnson said. We cannot. It will not work. Even if Aaron Rodgers intervenes and says, "No, guys, let's." You imagine going to work tomorrow knowing that your boss hates you?
What? Not only that, but like, do you think he even wants to be here anymore? Like, he's probably like, get me the hell out of here. Seriously.
Right.
Like if you were in his situation, would you want to be here? Because I wouldn't. He sold his house. He's going to like live with his girlfriend or something, probably, or maybe like move back home to Utah. I wouldn't
Right.
want to be anywhere over here, and I don't blame him. Like, it's not some of it's it's his fault. He's a very bad quarterback. I think we all know that.
Right.
But so it's just like all the baggage on top of it. I would be like, get me the hell out of here. Like, just if it was me, I'm asking for a trade. I'm asking to be released. Cut me. Just like get me out of here. But the problem is, it's like we still pay him like, what is it, 11 million?
Right?
I think it's 11 million, no matter what. So is there a situation where he stays as QB3?
I don't see the only way that I think they might have to come to an agreement for his release. And this is where Joe Douglas has to earn his money as well. You could say, listen, the feeling that's around you here in this locker room. And it's not good. It's very negative around you. The fan base, they cannot stand you. The majority. I mean, then you have, fans on Twitter like today where they're posting the highlights of Zack Wilson. Make no mistake, there is potential. There is potential in Zack Wilson. There is. But his time in New York is over. So there has to be a conversation where, look, Zack, listen, I think it's best that we're going to release you, but we don't want to eat the 10 million. Is there a world where we can release you, you can move on, but we're only going to give you 5? How can Joe Douglas do that? Again, remember, he got a 5 for Blake Cashman. Again, remember, this wasn't Blake Cashman.
Who turned out to be a decent player for the Texans.
Holy smokes. Yeah, good for the Texans. Good for him too. But again, at that point, he was worthless. He was always injured. So it wouldn't surprise me. It might get crazy here. It might get crazy. All right. It wouldn't surprise me. Here it goes. It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
If he calls, let's see, the Rams or another quarterback needy team that is willing to give him the time that he needs to develop, or the Bears, and say to the Bears, listen, I know if we trade him to you, you're going to be paying 10 million, but let's split it. We'll give 5. We'll pay 5 and you pay 5. But then they're going to be like, we still don't want to pay him that much, but give us a 6th, give us a 7th. I think that would be agreed upon, in my opinion. Zack will still get his money, but with the caveat of the Jets not paying the 10 million if he stays, but the receiving team will not be left with the bill of 10 million. They're only going to be paying 5, which I think is an okay deal if you think about it.
I think so. My only thing is, like, well, before we move forward, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 99 viewers right now. Could somebody just retweet and tell a friend to tell a friend? There we go. Dan, we just hit it.
Wow. We hit 100.
Thank you guys very much.
Please hit the subscribe button. It helps with our algorithm. Please. We're going to be doing so much of these. And not for nothing. Does anyone want to come on to the show? We would love to hear from you. We could throw the link in there. Just give us a thumbs up or a yes. We'll throw it on there and you guys can come up. Yep. But with Zack Wilson, again, I think that would, big fella, I think you're right. Because what do you have in Denver? You have stability at head coach. You have a head coach that knew how not to groom Drew Brees, but took a chance on Drew Brees, especially when, again, with the Chargers, he was tearing it up. But remember, that final game, I think it was against the Raiders. I think he tore his labrum. And not a lot of teams wanted him. But he took a chance on him. The rest is history. Drew Brees is he's a Hall of Famer. Straight up Hall of Famer.
Yes. DKB Jets. Yeah, definitely, man. If you wanna hop on. He actually did a post game show with Italy Jet in Harrison on this
Nice.
channel a couple years back. I'll
I
post the
love
link.
it.
I'm not gonna hang out all night, Dan. If you want to, you feel free.
I want to see. I got to head to work very early tomorrow.
I do
It's
too.
just that, right? I mean, we had to hop on tonight because it's going to be a very busy week for the New York Jets. Joe Douglas is not done. He is not. That Tyron Smith deal on Friday night showcased to the entire fan base, including me. I'm going to raise my hand. I was eating crow for the past 2 days because I was judging Joe D. I was like, what are you doing? You're sleeping. All these awesome players are getting signed, and you're getting defensive tackles. Like, we need offensive tackles. That was our main problem. And you're signing Kinlaw, and I forgot the Hawaiian guy's name. But then he shot it out of the park, man. He shot it out of the park, and we got, our offensive line is sick, man. Sick.
We'll bring Charles on for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
What's going on, Charles?
What's up?
How you doing?
How are you, man? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
You too, man. Sorry, I was doing a stream of my own, a live stream of my own.
Oh, where were you doing that?
On Twitch.tv. I'm doing my finale of my Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 full game playthrough.
There you go.
Sweet. Charles, I got to give you big ups because I always see you on Let's Talk Jets. Love your views. You're passionate, and you're a Jet fan. What more can we ask for?
Let me tell you something. And when I do my YouTube channel, I want to make this abundantly clear here on YouTube, I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I'm not the type of guy that likes to BS when it talks about things. And, like, the reason why I haven't been on so many other YouTube channels because a lot of people can't handle my honesty. That's the way I feel. Like, when I told people on, the other Jets YouTuber, Let's Talk Jets Radio, yes.
Okay.
When I said that Tom Coughlin was my favorite head coach growing up, I meant it. He was a great coach to me, and I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was great in Jacksonville for so many years, helped them turn them around, and he was great with the Giants.
Perfect.
But, and he's a good man. Unfortunately, I think he lost his wife to cancer, which really sucks. Prayers go out to him and his family.
Yep.
And people were like, what the hell, Charles is a bandwagon Giants fan. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just like Tom Coughlin. You got a problem with that? Kiss my ass. That's the way I feel about it. Anyways, I'm happy. This is the part of Joe Douglas that I like. He's willing to take chances. Now, obviously, that hasn't always turned out. Like, remember in 2019 when he first became GM, he signed, what the hell was his name? Ryan Khalil from the Panthers, and he was retired. He was past due.
The center. Yep.
That was past due, but he was a great player for many years in Carolina. Problem is, he got hurt a lot with the Jets. And we also had, what the hell is his name? The guard that played for the Raiders, had a good career with the Raiders, Kelechi Osemele. Chance on him too. Yep. And he was hurt, and he couldn't really play. So, I like the risk that he's taking. Obviously, they all haven't turned out, but obviously we took a CJ Uzomah, who was a talented player for the Bengals, but he didn't play very well for us. And last year, he destroyed us with penalties. Oh, my God. I'll never get in a game against the Raiders. Brees Hall scored a touchdown, and he gets Paul for getting his ass kicked. Like, come on, bruh.
Yep.
Right.
You're going to get your ass kicked.
There's so many examples of that. So many examples of that. So we got Mike Williams coming into the building tomorrow. What are you thinking about that?
I like Mike Williams. No, I know some people say he gets hurt a lot. So do a lot of fucking NFL players, man. It's the game, baby. He's very productive. He's been one of the best receivers in the game.
Yep.
And he's been one of I'm a huge fan of this quarterback, Justin Herbert, for quite some time. And, unfortunately, Keenan Allen got traded to the Bears, which shocked the shit out of me. I didn't expect that crap to happen.
No.
But, let's see what happens. If the Jets sign Mike Williams, let's see what happens. It comes down to price. We can't throw away free money. Money. We got to be careful on how we spend our money. Look, I'm a happy man that we got Tyron Smith. I've always liked Smith ever since with the Cowboys. I know what people say. He gets hurt a lot too. Well, for those who want David Bakhtiari, he's played a lot more than David Bakhtiari has. So David Bakhtiari, I'm not saying he's been talking trash, but for those who are like, David Bakhtiari is a good player. Yeah, he was, but when he was healthy, he hasn't played many games lately. Tyron Smith has. I mean, last year, wasn't he nominated for second team All-Pro?
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was. Absolutely. That's why it was a killer deal. And the incentives That's where Joe Douglas knocks it out of the park. That's his MO for his tenure that he was here. He does exactly what needs to be done in order to sign players. Yes, sometimes he whiffs. I get it. Things happen. That's why I think this offseason is going to be very different. His back is against the wall. He has to make this work. This is an all-in year because, again, like Liam alluded to before, with Aaron Rodgers, he could easily check out after this year. We don't know. All of us were like, I hope he stays for 2 more years, for 3 more years. We don't know.
Let's see how well he plays this year. You know, the guy's 40s. I mean, Tom Brady was able to play in his 40s. Yep. Brett Favre was able to play in his 40s. Drew Brees was able to play in his 40s. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers does. Plus, the good news is he's not going to be R.F. Kennedy's vice president candidate.
Right. Yes.
Thank the Lord. I knew that shit wasn't going to happen. So,
right. So it seems like RFK doesn't want to win. I get it. Whatever.
No, that doesn't. Well, politics doesn't. I'm not going to talk about politics here on the channel.
No. But Charles, listen, man, thank you so much. And you know what? I'm going to relieve the pressure off of you because I think you're 100% right with Tom Coughlin, and I think everyone's going to hate me on this one. I think the greatest quarterback of all time is Tom Brady. You're going to kill me?
That's not, man. That's a popular opinion.
Okay, very good. Because
okay, my father will tell you though. Now you have to excuse my dad. He's been watching football since Joe Namath's days.
Yes.
And if you ask my dad, he'll tell you the greatest quarterback in his eyes is Johnny Unitas.
Okay.
Johnny Unitas, either.
I'm with it. I might do a video on this too on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, please check it out when you guys get the chance. And I'll say, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You know,
what's the name of the channel?
Huh?
What's the name of the channel?
My name, Charles Gorman. It's got a Kingdom Come Superman symbol as a profile pic.
Okay.
And I said Johnny Unitas set the standard for the modern day quarterback. Plus, he played in an era. You know, people forgot this. Before Drew Brees broke it in 2012, he had a consecutive streak that stood for decades of throwing a touchdown pass. That was like the football equivalent of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. And nobody's ever come close to breaking that shit.
That's what you see. You bring up a solid point of history because that's what makes the Super Bowl III championship that much more.
Well, he wasn't the starter. It was Earl Morrall.
No, but hear me out. Hear me out. That's what I want to bring up. So it was Earl Morrall who was the starter, and the backup is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So you're thinking, as a Jet fan, let's say back in the 60s, we have no shot here. What if Morrall goes down and here comes Unitas? How are we going to win? And Namath had brass balls in Miami the day before, the 3 days before, to say, we don't care about none of that. We're winning the game. That's where the pride comes from with the Jets.
Well, Namath said it because some of the Colts players were talking shit, and he was like, enough of this crap.
Yep.
We're a football team. We get paid tons of money.
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys aren't the Packers. I mean, let me tell you something right now. No disrespect to Don Shula, man. So rest in peace. If Vince Lombardi was the coach of the Colts and he heard one of the Colts players talking shit, you know what he would have do? He would have run them ragged the next day. So what are you guys doing? Running your damn mouths all the time.
100%. Now, Charles, look, we got to get going in just a little bit. What I want you to do is either email or tweet Liam's your YouTube channel, and we're going to put it on the link. All right? Sounds like a deal?
Thank you. I'll email you guys my YouTube channel. I don't go on social media except YouTube. I do go on Reddit, but not much. Okay. I will email you I'll find your email address.
It's everything, and it's still. I can't change the email address, so sorry about that, guys. But it's still everythingnyj@gmail.com.
Oh, I got a Gmail account too. That's perfect. Cool. Anyway, it was a pleasure talking with you. I forgot your name, sir. I forgot your name.
NYJD16, Dan, brother.
That's his birth name.
I like the shirt, by the way. It's very badass.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you for hopping on, Charles. Appreciate it, man. Cole, listen, Thursday night, call in.
No problem, man. I will try my best.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, that was cool, man. Oh, cool, man. We have a new one. Now, again, please, 106 people watching. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. Again, it just takes not even 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. It will help us out a lot. We're going to have a lot of guests this year. Again, I can't really say the ones that we're actually going to be having on, but we're working on it behind the scenes. It should be fun. Now, we're going to end it here. I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. Who are we signing? Are we signing both of them tomorrow? I'm sorry, by Wednesday? Mike Williams and Jadeveon Clowney, or no?
No. I think we are signing. I don't think that I don't see the thing with Mike Williams. I don't think that he's signing tomorrow. I don't think
Mhm.
he's signing this week. If anything, Friday, maybe next Monday. I think he really wants to go through all of his options, which that's fair. Listen, I mean,
Right.
it's a big decision for him as well. So, Jadeveon Clowney, that's interesting because I like him.
Mhm.
He's 31 years old. I guess we could use an extra hand at the linebacker position because I feel like he's more than a linebacker, you know.
Right.
And the thing is, if you remember last year, we all wanted Quan Alexander back. That didn't happen, and then Sherwood actually pretty stepped up. He
Mhm.
wasn't terrible. You have Quincy Williams, you have C.J. Mosley. I think that he would only make the linebacker position better.
Right.
So that's really I could see him signing for a cheap deal this week. Mike
Okay.
Williams, I don't think is going to sign this week. What do you think?
Honestly, I think how Joe Douglas has progressed over the years, he's going to twist his arm tomorrow. I mean, literally, like straight up WWE's like right against the wall. If you don't sign here, you're not going to be playing for anyone else.
That's the
To
thing.
the point where
they're going to put these like jail bars down. Be like, oh no, you don't get to leave.
yeah, exactly. Like a Bronx Tale. Now nobody leaves.
Yes.
I love it. No, I honestly think he's going to give him a deal where he's not going to find anything better, but he's going to say, you have 48 hours. 48 hours. On the 49th hour, the deal it's over. It's over. Do your thing. Probably maybe call up the Steelers if you had to see them on Wednesday. Try to see them Tuesday evening. And showcase to them, if they really want you, they'll amend their plans. Do you understand, Mike Williams, or no? So, yes, it's a little bit cutthroat, but at least Mike Williams will know what we're all about this year. It's not, go, take your time, don't worry. Nah, enough of those days. This is an all-in year. Serious, across the board. You want to win a Super Bowl, sign today or within the next 48 hours. If not, it's been fun. You're still not 100% healthy. So you really don't hold everything on your side. It's kind of lopsided.
Leverage.
No leverage. Nothing. Joe Douglas has leverage. So
I like it.
That's me. Now with
like
Jadeveon Clowney, that one's going to be interesting. I think you have to bring everyone aboard. Everyone there. Even Woody Johnson. You have to bring them. You have to bring them there and tell them, look, dude, we had Huff leave. You're going to fill that same role there. You're not going to be playing all downs, just passing situations. What's your price? What's your price? Okay, this is what we got. Are you taking it or are you leaving it? And I wouldn't be with him. I wouldn't be so cutthroat as I would with Mike Williams because Jadeveon's coming off of a very solid year, 9.5 sacks. So you give them, you sweeten the deal. You got to give like the Jets tax and whatnot. You have to do that. You have to. And if he doesn't, he signs elsewhere. It is what it is. But tell him, look, if you're getting a better deal somewhere else, give us a call. We'll see what we can do. It's an all-in year. Has he been on a team that has won a Super Bowl yet or no?
I don't think so.
No,
I know
right?
He's been on Cleveland for a long time. He was with the Houston Texans, Seattle Seahawks, I believe he was with.
And the Titans.
And the Titans, yeah. So I don't think he has that ring.
Right.
I have one last question for you before we go.
Yeah.
Do you see any surprise signings this week by the New York Jets? Somebody that we're not talking about?
Oh.
Doesn't have to be like a specific player, but do you think that he's going to make any of those moves?
Probably Kareem Hunt.
I would like that.
RB2.
I would like that. A veteran running back, yes.
We do. As much as I like Izzy, he has so much potential. We said it on the last show. He reminds me a lot of Bilal Powell. That first year with Powell, it was like he fumbled the ball in the one at Denver. And it's just I think he fumbled the ball at Denver when Tebow rolled out to the left and beat us.
Yeah.
I think that was the game. That was the one. And when he fumbled the ball at the one, I was like, oh man, this sucks. Because he was a beast at Louisville. At Louisville, he was killing it. I don't know if you ever saw Bilal Powell's highlights at Louisville.
Yes, I have. Yep.
Did you see there was two runs at the one where he just took it took it the distance.
All the way.
And all the way. And Izzy reminds me a lot of him. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of player about what was it? All About a Condom? That's I can't pronounce it. All About a Condom. About a Condom. Right.
Yeah. Say that 10 times fast.
I can't even say his real name. You know what I mean?
Israel Abadaconda.
Israel. I'm going to call him Izzy. Now, with this here,
I think we should.
Yes. This is a new channel as well, guys. Definitely check it out. NYJ TV, hosted by Vinny and Raven. I believe they were affiliate of the Jet Lounge or whatnot. This is brand new, so definitely check them out. To me, what needs to be done for JD to get an extension this year? Very easy. Very simple. You're all in.
Hello,
you have to. You have to get to the AFC Championship game. That is, end goal is to win a Super Bowl, 100%. But to get an extension, in my eyes, with Aaron Rodgers there, we don't know what's going to happen after 2024. Do not know. To get an extension, and let's say Aaron Rodgers leaves, and Joe Douglas made this happen, at that point, you reach the AFC Championship game against either the Bengals, the Chiefs, and they beat us. All right, you know what? We're feeling good. We're feeling good that we have a competent GM. Go for it. That's the only time. We get into a wild card and we get booted. Clean house. You clean house. What 2025 is going to be yet another all-in year? This guy,
you only get so many.
The window is small here, folks. When you traded for Aaron Rodgers, you mortgaged the future. And there's a lot that entailed in getting someone like Aaron Rodgers. So at this point, this juncture, you have Tyron Smith. You don't know if he's going to stay next year. You have no idea. All these signings that we're getting, we have no clue. This is it. In order to know what our future really holds with our GM and our head coach, this has to be a stellar year, and everyone knows about it. It's not like a secret. No one's going to be talking about next year if we rock it. If we're healthy on the offensive line, healthy. Yes, maybe one game AVT might not play or Tyron Smith, whatever the case is, and that's where we have to build our depth. On the chat there, I think it was Vinny that said, with Bakhtiari this week. Yeah, if vet minimum, though, let's not break the bank either, all right? I'm okay with Bakhtiari coming to play for the Jets, taking a discount to play with his best friend, Aaron Rodgers, because, again, this cannot be like last year where we start signing all ex-Packers just to have the group all together. We get Cobb. We get Turnstile Turner. Who else do we get? We got Amos, all these guys that could not contribute anything. Nothing.
Boyle,
there was nothing
Lazard.
there. Boyle, Lazard. No. If you're going to get Bakhtiari, vet minimum, you're a backup. God forbid something happens at the tackle position, your time is up. Go right there. Let's do it. Let's kick ass. Let's win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we got 121 in the 122 right now, actually watching live. If you guys aren't already, please head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That's really the place to be. It really helps us out. But wherever you're watching, we just appreciate you guys watching. You know, it's almost 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. We all got work in the morning, but we're insomniacs, so this is what we do.
It's a.
So,
I didn't get these eyes for nothing.
Yeah, it looks like we
It's
got
like,
121 other ones. So, thank you guys. Definitely
give me another 5 more years. I'm going to look like Jim Brewer. I'm telling you, like these baggy eyes and stuff, man.
I probably got to get rid of 10, 12.
No, you'll never have baggy eyes, dude. You'll have saggy, over there, you cooliones, but you'll never have saggy eyes over here. You'll be fine. You look young, man.
I'm just turned 25.
Wow, God bless, man. I remember that. I remember those years. Black and white was the norm on TV. That's how long ago it's been. Then color came into the equation.
And how's it going back?
Thanks, man. We haven't even got to that point yet. We haven't even got to that point.
Cut the line, baby.
We cut the line, baby. Cut the line. No, it is what it is. But listen, folks, we're gonna leave right now. But we would just want to preface this. We're gonna be on Thursday night. We're gonna have Tyson from Let's Talk Jets. We're going to be talking a lot of Jets, and we're also going to be honoring veterans. Tyson does an enormous challenge for the veterans for mental health awareness. It's a serious issue, big time serious issue. A lot of us have it. We don't want to discuss it, but it's something that we should, and we should be there for each other. Empathize. This isn't a competition. This is a ride here that we have here on earth to support each other, to help each other out. No matter what the differences is, there's always a silver lining to make an agreement. So definitely join us on Thursday night, 9 p.m. right here. And just like my friend Liam said, if you haven't done so, hit that freaking subscribe button, baby. And we'll see you on Thursday night. Have a great one, everybody. And let's see how
Take care, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day.